Renegade Immortal, Chapter 602, Crazy Battle Intent. Hello, welcome back to my channel, Books with AR. Wang Lin's eyes were completely red as he looked at the ground below him. The amount of Celestial Ascension Fruits he had absorbed was only 1/10 of all the fruits here. He reached out toward the ground with his early-stage Ascendant cultivation and caused the ground to tremble. Then, countless fruits flew off the trees and went toward him. Nearly 100,000 Celestial Ascension Fruits were stored away inside his bag of holding. At this moment, Wang Lin could no longer suppress the battle and killing intent in his heart. He let out a roar and was about to leave. But just at this moment, a cold snort filled with anger came from the void. It landed directly inside Wang Lin's mind. Wang Lin's mind trembled, and then he coughed out a mouthful of blood and fell from the sky. After he landed, his head jerked toward the sky and his eyes revealed powerful killing and battle intent. He couldn't help but be injured. On a normal day, if Wang Lin's mind was injured like that by just a cold snort, he would immediately escape. However, he was different right now, and there was a hint of madness in his eyes. Not only did the injury in his body not decrease his battle intent, it actually made him even crazier. He slapped his bag of holding and devoured a large amount of pills. With one step, he charged out. Although he was crazy, his consciousness was still there. When the cold snort came, he vaguely felt where it came from and directly charged there. Kill. The only thought in Wang Lin's mind was to kill. The killing intent that was removed when he turned into a mortal exploded once more thanks to the stimulation of the Celestial Ascension Fruit. The fiend that made the sea of greed and Xia tremble had awakened. Wang Lin's body moved like a flaming meteor across the sky, and he charged directly at the direction where he vaguely felt that cold snort come from. Another cold snort came from the tower in the ancient battleground. This snort contained disdain and killing intent. The cold snort arrived and landed on Wang Lin, causing him to cough out another large mouthful of blood. His eyes became even more crazy as he slapped his bag of holding and almost 100,000 Celestial Ascension Fruits surrounded him. Without hesitation, Wang Lin's hand reached out and the 100,000 fruits all collapsed one by one. The juices condensed and refined until the 100,000 fruits were condensed into just one drop. Wang Lin looked at the demonically red liquid that could cause a person to collapse and swallowed it. The moment he swallowed that demonically red liquid, Wang Lin felt like his body was about to explode, and the speed at which his blood was circulating through his body reached its limit. His battle intent and madness reached an unprecedented degree at this moment. Then he slapped his bag of holding, and a wine jug appeared in his hand. This was the wine jug he got at the cave, and it contained 10 drops of celestial liquid. As soon as he brought out the wine jug, he drank 4 drops. After the celestial liquid entered his body, celestial spiritual energy moved through his meridians like raging thunder. An unimaginable amount of celestial spiritual energy moved inside his body to the point where he might not be able to handle it. It wasn't for the fact that his meridians were strengthened when he entered the Ascendant stage and refined by the ancient demon, he definitely wouldn't have been able to bear it. Wang Lin seemed to have gone crazy. His hair started flowing in the air and he charged out like a madman. A ghostly light flashed within the armor inside the Black Tower and a divine message echoed out. Could he have gone crazy? If he really comes here and damages the armor I'm in, he won't be able to make it here. A ray of killing intent came from the tower and disappeared into the void. This strand of killing intent suddenly locked on Wang Lin from within the void. The celestial spiritual energy was surging through Wang Lin when the killing intent arrived. His body trembled, but the battle intent in his eyes became even stronger. With a roar, the celestial spiritual energy inside his body seemed to explode, causing his body to move even faster. At this moment, Wang Lin was like a flame. Every time the person inside the Black Tower tried to extinguish the flame, it would ignite once more. It wasn't that he wasn't injured anymore. On the contrary, he was seriously injured from the continuous attacks from the person inside the Black Tower. However, due to the Celestial Ascension Fruit, the stimulation in his Oran soul was not going to go away anytime soon unless he died. Under the stimulation, no matter how serious his injuries were, he wouldn't care. The celestial spiritual energy surged even faster thanks to the effect of those 4 drops of celestial liquid. At this moment, there was only one thought in Wang Lin's mind, and that was kill. The divine sense in the tower became even more angry and continued to attack. If it was anyone else, they would have already died. But thanks to the strange cooperation of the Celestial Ascension Fruit and Celestial Liquid, Wang Lin wasn't dead. Normally, his flesh would have died long ago and his Oran soul would have collapsed. However, thanks to the effect of the Celestial Ascension Fruit, his Oran soul didn't collapse. Thanks to the surge of celestial spiritual energy from the celestial liquid, his body didn't break. Die. The divine sense showed a hint of fear. Given Wang Lin's current state, even the person inside the Black Tower couldn't help but feel like something bad was coming. From his point of view, this Wang Lin had really gone crazy. If I knew it was going to be like this, I would not have tried to devour him. The death intent in the divine sense pierced through the void and landed on Wang Lin. Wang Lin coughed out a large mouthful of blood. Although his eyes dimmed a bit, it was soon replaced with killing and battle intent. As Wang Lin flew, a beast-like roar came out of his throat. Finger of Death. The finger of death absorbs the life force of others, causing the living to wither and give their power to it. At this moment, Wang Lin used this power in this crazed state. An aura of death began to spread out from him and fused with the world. As he floated in the air, all of the vegetation under him withered. As he flew across the sky, the withering on the earth spread, and vegetation, birds, and beasts all died. This place looked like hell. It was very strange, yet extremely shocking. Their deaths created strands of white gas that caught up with Wang Lin and entered his body. These strands of white gas quickly helped repair Wang Lin's damaged body and Oran soul. In the Firemon Kingdom, Zishu was sitting on a horse. He was wearing a blue robe and had a giant sword on his back, and his eyes looked coldly into the distance. Behind him were 30,000 demon soldiers. The Da Lo sword sect's 12 had all scattered, and he was one of them. His cultivation was at the peak of the late stage of soul transformation. He had successfully gotten the position of chief commander and was leading his demon soldiers to meet his fellow brothers. As they moved, his expression suddenly changed when he saw a meteor blazing across the sky. His eyes narrowed to look at it carefully, and then his expression immediately changed. Ascendant Cultivator! He quickly lowered his head and ordered his demon soldiers to back up, as he was unwilling to provoke this Ascendant Cultivator. He also saw that this Ascendant Cultivator's state of mind seemed a bit crazy. What made him even more terrified was that everywhere that person went, the earth under him would completely wither and be absorbed. Fortunately, they weren't on the same path, or else Zishu would have immediately chosen to go into another direction and stay far away from this person. Wang Lin didn't even notice the demon soldiers. Right now, the only things in his eyes were battle and kill. At this moment, the cold snort carrying killing intent and a hint of anxiety came again. This time, it was even stronger, causing Wang Lin's body to tremble and cough out another mouthful of blood. His body was about to be destroyed, and his origin soul was about to dissipate. However, all of the life force he had absorbed on the way here was slowly nourishing his body and origin soul, allowing them to slowly recover. Zishu stared at Wang Lin in the sky. When he saw Wang Lin cough out blood, his eyes suddenly lit up. This person must be seriously injured. Although he has a strong aura, for him to cough out blood while just flying shows just how injured he is. Since this person has reached the Ascendant stage, he must have many magic treasures and even some good techniques. More importantly, if I refine his origin soul and feed it to my sword spirit, It will increase the power of my sword spirit greatly. A hint of killing intent appeared in Zishu's eyes, but it soon dimmed. This person is an Ascendant cultivator after all, but if I let this opportunity pass, who knows when I'll meet another seriously injured Ascendant cultivator. Let's do it. Zishu's eyes lit up once more. Kill! Zishu's body turned into a shadow and charged directly toward Wang Lin. The demon soldiers behind him heard the order and quickly began laying down the formation. A killing intent locked on Wang Lin. Wang Lin's eyes were filled with killing intent, so he was very sensitive to killing intent. He turned his head and saw the 30,000 demon soldiers on the ground and Zishu, who was charging at him. He revealed a grim smile, then his body moved and charged towards Zishu. He was simply too fast and arrived next to Zishu's body in an instant. Zishu's expression changed greatly. He expected this person to run, not charge at him while seriously injured. He let out a snort before his hand formed a seal and the large sword on his back flew out. At the moment the large sword flew out, Wang Lin appeared. He grabbed the large sword with his right hand and threw it behind him. Then, at the same time, he passed right by Zishu. As the Wang Lin passed by Zishu, he softly tapped Zishu's shoulder. Zishu trembled, and his body immediately withered along with his origin soul. In the blink of an eye, a life seal was formed, and it flew toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin didn't stop at all and charged into the 30,000 demon soldiers on the ground. A mad slaughter began. Blood stained the earth, and souls filled the sky. Strands of life seals continued to appear and enter his body. Half an instinct stick of time later, the ground was covered in blood. After it was over, Wang Lin flew out and charged into the distance. He now had 30,000 life seals, each of which carried endless vitality. As each mark disappeared, his body recovered a bit. The life seals were quickly dissipating, but his body was also quickly recovering. The anger of the divine sense inside the Black Tower and the ancient battleground became even stronger. This person absorbed a large number of Celestial Ascension Fruits. Under the effect of the fruit, he isn't even afraid of death. Many of my attacks should have killed him, but instead of dying, his battle intent became even stronger. That's not even the important part. This person has a spell that allows him to absorb life from all sorts of life forms, allowing his injuries to recover at a rapid pace. If this continues, he will arrive here one day. A very rare feeling of regret appeared in the divine sense in the Black Almer.